The objective of this lesson is to add decimal numbers. We will use base 10 blocks and place value charts to understand the standard algorithm for addition. Vocabulary words we use when adding are sum and add-in. The sum is the total number of the numbers added. The numbers added are called the add-ins. In this lesson, we will be working with decimals to the hundredths. Although many adults state a decimal as 0.3 for 3/10, we want students to state the value of the decimal rather than saying point, so they get a better understanding of what decimal 3/10 really means. Let's try a word problem that involves addition of decimals. A punch recipe calls for 75 hundredths of a liter of flavored drink mix to be added to 1 4/10 liters of ginger ale. What is the total volume of the punch? Will a 2-liter pitcher be large enough to hold all of the punch? Let's use place value blocks to represent this problem. We are going to be working with hundredths, so we need blocks that show that relationship. With whole numbers, the flat can be used to represent 100, the rod would be 10, and the cube would represent 1. For this problem, we will use the flat to represent one whole. Then the rod would be 1/10 of the whole, or written as 0.1. And the cube would be 1/100th of the whole, or written 0.01. The drink mix was 75 hundredths of a liter, so we don't need any flats, as this number is less than one whole. We will need 7 rods to represent 7/10 and 5 cubes to represent 5 hundredths. Put together 7/10 and 5 hundredths to make 75 hundredths of the mix. The ginger ale was 1 4/10 liters. Let's use 1 flat for the whole, 4 rods for the 4/10 to represent 1 4/10. Let's add them together. In the hundredths column, we only have 5 hundredths. In the tenths column, there are 7/10 and 4/10 for a total of 11/10, or 11 rods. Regroup 10 of the rods to make a flat, because 10/10 is one whole. That will leave 1/10. Add that whole to the whole from 1 4/10 to make 2 wholes, or 2 in the ones place. So we have 2 flats, 1 rod, and 5 cubes. The sum is 2 15 hundredths. So the 2-liter pitcher is not large enough for 2 15 hundredths liters of punch. The objective in this lesson was to add decimals. We met this objective by using base 10 blocks, place value charts, and the standard algorithm to add decimals.